So tonight's class, we're going to learn about balance, about how to create priorities in our lives. How many people feel like they would like to have a little bit of balance? Yes, a little bit of balance, energetically, spiritually. All right, so let's start with an exercise. I'm going to show you a slide. Some topics we are all familiar with. We have health, career and purpose, social status, love, relationships and family, and internal spiritual work. I want you to write each one of these down, and I want you to number them by what is most important for you in your life. Okay? So we'll just start to number, or maybe you just put them in the order that you feel. It's very important to actually write it down because there will be another component to this. Another component. We've got health, career, and purpose is number 2. Social status, number 3. Love, relationships, and family is number 4. Internal spiritual work is number 5. Huh? Now, next to that, I'll give you a moment to finish. No. What is most important to you? So, for example, if love, relationships, family is most important, that goes number 1. Least important will be number 5. You get it? Either put them in that order or number them in the order that you believe they are most important to you. Now, next to that, I want you to actually write down the time, the hours that you feel you are investing in these life components. The energy. You know, you don't have to put the hours. Energetically put in order what you are investing in, energetically. Energetically can mean you're thinking about it, you're planning for it, you're acting upon it, your desire is in it, your essence is part of it. Now, it might be the same order. I'm sorry? Put it as a number, like put the number. So, for example, if maybe you put love and relationships is the most important thing, but you realize the amount of energy you're giving to that is actually number 4 or number 3. Does that make sense? Because what you feel is the most important thing is probably not going to always be in sync with how much energy you are investing in what you prioritized. Okay? Did anybody get the exact same order between both of them? 1, 2? All right. Real quick, share with your partner what you prioritize and what is the most important thing in your life and why. Just share. So, let's put that aside for a moment. You know, there are many rituals that the Kabbalists have given us. And these rituals sometimes can seem like mundane actions, maybe religious actions even. But every ritual has an energy intelligence and has a purpose. And it's important to know what is the purpose of these actions. Many of you are new to Kabbalah. You may not know a lot of what I'm talking about. But I'll give you one example. It says that in the morning, before that, when a person goes to bed, what happens to the soul of a person when they sleep? Their soul elevates. In fact, that's why we get tired, because the soul needs to leave the body, and it needs to be recharged. It needs to basically go back to its source. In this physical, mundane world, the soul has a hard time dealing with a reactive environment, especially if it's in the body of a reactive person. That's why every person, no matter what, cannot just self-rejuvenate themselves. Their soul must leave. When the soul leaves, it goes through many different chambers and layers, all depending on a person's spiritual level and what they've done that day. And what happens in the body is that a little bit of the light of their soul stays in the body. Otherwise, what would happen to a person? A person would die. So this little pilot light that stays in the body is what allows a person to stay alive, but sleep, be in a state of sleep. Because the soul has left, death actually comes upon the person. There's a temporary death that's happening. It's also interesting to know that there are 3 times in a person's life where they are judged for their actions. What are they? Three periods which are fixed times. Number 1, every night when a person sleeps. Every night when a person sleeps, there's a judgment, an accounting of the person's actions from that day. Number 2, every year on the first day of Libra, for every soul in this world, all souls are judged, meaning there is an accounting of everything that's done, said, thought of. Your whole tikkun process is examined, and based on what you were in the last year is what type of destiny you'll be set up for the coming year. That day is called also Rosh Hashanah. It's the first day of Libra. And the 3rd time a person is judged is when? When a person dies. When a person dies, there's a whole accounting of the person's life, and based on that accounting determines the reincarnation of that soul and what kind of a body you'll come into, what kind of a family, what kind of relationship, so on and so forth. So every night we're experiencing some level of judgment that the soul goes through. There is death on the body. So what happens when you wake up? The soul comes back to the body, and that energy of death leaves. It leaves through the extremities, but mainly the hands of a person. It leaves through the hands, because the hands, Kabbalistically, are what are connected to our physical world. It's how we connect physically with the world. So the Kabbalists share that because the energy of death leaves the person, there is on the hands of the person a little bit of that energy of all of their negativity condensed into that region. Isn't that interesting? So, to combat that negativity, to combat that judgment, the Kabbalists gave us a ritual. They said, when you wake up in the morning, your hands should, because your hands are exposed to judgment, and this energy of judgment, think about it. What should you not do with your hands? What do we do when we wake up in the morning? We do stuff like this. Or, with the phone or whatever. So what happens is, we inject that energy into whatever we touch. So it's not good. It's an energy thing. So the Kabbalists say, okay, water is mercy. We know that water creates life and has the energy of mercy. Water is considered to be right column. We learned about the right column and the left column, that there are these 2 columns, these 2 energetic forces. The right column is the light of the Creator. It's about sharing. The left column is the vessel. It's about receiving. We need both. It's not about good or bad. We need both. The right is like the plus pole. The left is the minus pole. We need both in order to create circuitry. So if I have judgment, if there's judgment, and I want the energy of balance, because sometimes when there's too much judgment in our own lives, we can't handle it. When there's too much stress, too much pressure, too much negativity, who here wants to learn their lessons through judgment? Nobody does. We all want to learn it through mercy. So, when there is judgment, we have to inject mercy. That's how the Kabbalists planned everything. They showed us how to have a balanced lives, where we can grow and accumulate blessings, but not in the way that most people do, which is through pain, judgment, chaos, and suffering. Now, you could take all these rituals and make a religion out of them. You could do all these things without consciousness and get into a routine of just doing mundane actions, but if the thought consciousness is not there, you cannot benefit from its energy. So what is the actual action we do in the morning? If you would like to know, for those of you who don't know, you fill up any kind of vessel or container with water. It cannot be directly from the faucet. You have to actually fill it in a vessel. A vessel needs to encapsulate that water energetically. You take it in the right hand. Again, it's meticulous. You don't have to remember this. You take it in the right hand. The right hand passes it to the left hand. Again, it's all energy. Why? Because the right activates itself by doing what it's good at. What is the right known for doing? Sharing. So it's got to share. First thing right's got to do is share. Then you pour a little bit on the right hand. Then you pass it, and you pour a little bit on the left hand. Right, left, right, left. That's it. 3 times on the right, 3 times on the left, because 3 is a perfect circuit, right, left, and central, proton, electron, neutron. Everything in Kabbalah is about 3, right arm, left arm, torso. Our bodies are made up in this structure of 3, that's balance. And it says if you can do that, it will cleanse the negativity completely. Interesting. And there's deeper and deeper secrets to that, but it's an interesting concept. So for anybody who would like, you wake up in the morning, first thing you do before you do anything, before you touch your phone, before you touch your face, before you talk to anybody, just get up, go to the bathroom, have a cup there by the sink, fill it up, right hand passes to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the intention? Mercy, controlling judgment. Mercy, controlling judgment. Now, why is that important? Because in life, everything can be divided to the right and the left column. Let's look at our list. Health, career, social status, love, relationship, family, internal spiritual work. 4 out of 5 of these belong to the left column, and 1 belongs to the right column. What are the ones that belong to the left column? Social status, career, relationships, and health. Why? These are all 4 things that we desire to receive for ourselves. Okay, left column. Is there anything wrong with these 4 things? No, nothing wrong. We must, in fact, the Creator wants to have all of those things. If you don't have all those 4 things, then from the Creator's point of view, you're actually sinning. You're actually sinning. I don't like to use the word sinning, but from the Creator's point of view, you're actually not playing the game if you're not receiving blessings in all these areas, because the Creator wants you to have blessings. And if you don't have blessings, it means you're not doing something right. Creator does not want suffering. The Creator's energy is just right column. It's just to share. And we, left column, we want to receive all those things. So what is internal spiritual work? It's being involved, whether it's study, learning about myself, looking within myself, any path, and it doesn't even have to just be Kabbalah. We just happen to be studying Kabbalah because it's powerful for us. But any path that allows me to connect to my soul, to my spirit, to my consciousness, that helps me grow, it helps me be a better person, it's enhancing my right column. So what does Satan, what is the negative force in this world, desire from us? Satan knows that a person isn't going to abandon the spiritual work. Satan knows because we're smart people and we're progressing in the time of age of Aquarius where it's all about change. It's all about growth. It's all about charity. Satan loves, he's not going to tell you not to do it. What does Satan do? He wants you to lose your priorities. In life, do you need both the right and left column? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, but your free will is, bless you, to always make sure that the right column controls the left. That's all it is. The right controls the left. Meaning, my desire to share, my desire to grow, my desire to be with the light, my desire to share the light is in control of my desire for wealth, respect, love, family, whatever. And the promise is that as long as my right column my sharing, my spirituality is in control of my left column, you'll have both. But if your left column, your pursuit for all those things, takes up the majority of your life, and your spirituality is that thing you try to get to when you have time, the left controls the right, means the judgment controls the mercy. So this person is choosing that the judgment is controlling his life. So this person learns lessons through judgment. This person grows through judgment. This person feels that there's a constant state of judgment in the world. This person sees negativity in other people because that's the way he chooses to live his life. Whatever you invest in, that's what you become. So if you spend your time and invest in left column energy, you just become a left column person. That's the whole story of Cain and Abel, by the way. Abel was a right column person, sharing mercy. It says he came from the right side. And Cain was from the left side, judgmental, jealousy, all the qualities of the left. What was supposed to happen is that they were supposed to work together and be in harmony. But what happened was the left overcame the right by Cain killing Abel, and that was the problem. So all throughout the Bible, all the biblical stories is all about the battle of the right and the left, but you need both. You have to have both. So in fact, all the people in the world that we think are negative, from the Kabbalistic point of view, Rav Ashlag says, you know what the purpose of negative people really is? Their job is to be the left column in this world. What they do is they draw the light, and the right column people, through their mercy and their spirituality, they balance it and manifest it for the whole world. You actually need selfish people. You need negative people. Our job is not to destroy them or to kill them, but to make the right column so strong that it controls the left column energetically. You follow? In Kabbalah, we've always learned, when you see something wrong in somebody else, what's the solution? Go and tell them and try to fix them? Okay, it's a mirror, meaning strengthen your right column, become the light. You become the light, the rest becomes controlled. But before Kabbalah, what did we do when we saw something we didn't like? We took a left column approach. We confronted them with judgment. We confronted them because we wanted to fix them. We confronted the scenario, or maybe we didn't confront them. We just shut down and spoke bad about them to everybody else and smiled to their face. So all of that is always judgment. Whenever we're reactive, the way we approach life was always left column judgment. Now, are we also saying just be right column, just be merciful, just be sharing? Is that what we're saying? No. Because there are people who are just right column. Because they have no left column, they never receive blessings in their lives. They're always too nice to everybody. They do what everybody wants all the time. They don't have self-esteem. They don't have their own backbone. So actually, they're wondering, I'm such a good person, why am I not receiving? Because you didn't establish a left column. You actually haven't said what you even want from this world, which is the left column thing. You have desires. You need to ask for those things. Let's look at some more left-right column. I wrote some down here. Self-esteem. Having self-esteem is a right column quality. Believing in yourself. I am the light. I feel the light. A person makes you insecure. How can they make you insecure if you're the light? If you know you're the most powerful person in the world, and your soul is so great, how can somebody make you insecure? And in fact, why would you even ever care what anybody thinks? Why do we care what people think? Because we're too left column. What is left column? Lack consciousness. Oh, what's something wrong with me? They think something, they're judging me, they're looking at me weird, there must be something wrong with me. So what is a left column quality? Looking within myself. Looking within to change, which needs to be done in a very specific way. There are people who all day long, what do? Judge themselves. Look within. Oh, look what I did. Oh, what did I just do wrong? Oh, this, oh, that. And in Kabbalah, we've learned looking within cannot happen all day long because it's too much left column energy. You're going to burn yourself. It can only happen when you're by yourself. Kabbalists recommend before you go to bed. That's when you look in yourself. You don't look in yourself all day long. What's the purpose of all day long? What are you supposed to do during the day? Share. Be a member of society. Function. Create. Give. Yeah, but I'm in so much pain. Look what I did wrong. Not time for it now. Now you need to be present. Later tonight, you choose to look in your left column. And then there's people who just never look inside. They just all day long want to create. They want to be busy. They want to work hard. It's also a problem. You see the difference? Everything's about balance and having both, but your right controls your left. Even if you feel like work is stressing you out and you have no time and you really need to work all day long, you will get more done. You will learn more lessons if you take and invest in your spiritual work throughout your day. Whether it's study, whether it's meditation, whether it's just a moment of reflection, just take a step back and connect with the light. Otherwise, you think you're growing your business and you're not. Because you're just bringing more judgment into the scenario. Now, in your own lives, where do you feel where maybe the left column is controlling the right? And some of you might be confused by that question, but you can really answer this question any way you like. Where is maybe your judgment, you're consumed with yourself, you're consumed with something that is very left column, and you find that it's actually controlling the right column, and as a result, if you want to know what area it is, it's usually the area where you have the least control or balance in your life. Whatever area of your life is chaotic is probably because the left is controlling the right. And there's no right or wrong answer to my question. Try to see what comes up for you is a potential way that you are more left column in that area than right column. This sounds like it's a deep concept because we're learning new vocabulary. We're learning new ways of looking at life. So it's okay if you have a hard time with it. Try to break up into your partners or your groups. Try to see what comes up. Let's put it this way. If you put spirituality first, what happens? Let's put spirituality at the very top. Everything under it means that spirituality, which is right column, is controlling everything under it. And whatever is above spirituality, meaning that thing controls your spirituality, that will usually be the thing that doesn't have blessings. It's all about your priorities. Put spirituality at the top. And what does that mean, put spirituality at the top? It means that when push comes to shove and you have a very challenging moment in that area, do you turn to tricks and your own ego to try to fix it? Or do you turn to spirituality and try to fix it? Like, I'll give you an example. There's a challenging time in the world today, right? Very challenging time in the world, challenging time for everyone, challenging time for the Kabbalah Center, challenging time for everybody I know. So somebody asks me, there's negativity, people say stuff, people do stuff. Why don't you fight it? Why don't you say something? This, that. I said, look, when a challenge comes up, I've learned the only way to deal with it is by the laws of the light of the Creator. Those laws state that I have only control over myself. That's it. So whether it's this or whether it's that, if I start to look outside, I'm putting judgment before mercy, and even though that looks logical to everybody, and even though the majority will say that's what you need to do, and they'll give you a lot of spiritual reasons why you need to do that, I've learned in times where it's confusing and chaotic, I just look inside myself and that's it. And that's worked for me. And the Kabbalists say, in fact, if you always did that, you're always protected, no matter what. No one can pull a fast one on you as long as you're with the light and you just focus on yourself. Now, if you start becoming judgmental and start looking outside and start creating a fight and start doing whatever, now you open yourself up to stuff. Now you start saying, I want to play by the laws of judgment controlling mercy. That's a whole new set of rules. It's always about the mercy. And it doesn't mean you also are blind. No, I don't want to see anything. It's look, see, examine, but make sure that the mercy is controlling. In relationships, when you're dating or you're about to get married, in the frame of a relationship, what do you think is usually in control? Left or right column in the beginning? When you're in the beginning, it's everyone's bringing out their best right column. The best right column you got, you're bringing it out, right? In fact, you're shoving your left column so far away, you're hoping they'll never see it. But what happens when you actually have to live with this person? And that's why spiritually, it's so necessary, because the Creator doesn't want you to hide your left column. Because how long can you hide it for? What happens when you start to live with somebody? The left column comes up. The left column in a relationship is, so what about me? What are you going to do for me? The left column in a relationship is talking nasty to the person, not talking nice anymore, no more sweet words. Remember at the beginning, the sweet words, the charismatic words, the way you delicately phrased everything and thought about it and did restriction, and even before you knew Kabbalah, you were doing restriction, and you had it come out in the way of like a massage. You communicated things that were challenging through a massage. Now it's like whatever, left column, left column, left column, a left column, back and forth. So that's why relationships deteriorate. When there's too much left. What is an affair? It's left column controlling right column. It's, I have a desire for energy. I'm not getting it here, meaning my mind is in left column mode in my relationship, so now I'm going to go left column mode outside the relationship. That's all it is. It's left controlling right, and then you have judgment, and you have chaos. It's not about right or wrong. It's about creating a balance of energies. Eating, left column or right column? What do you think? You're eating. You're eating something. I'm drinking this water. As I'm drinking, is this left or is this right?
Depends. How you eat.
It depends how you eat it, you're saying?
I mean, if you eat because you're hungry, just want to feel with energy your stomach, you're doing that.
Okay, so you're saying it's all about your intention. If I'm just thirsty and I want to drink, that's left column. If I overdrink or I overeat, that's very left column, right? So the Kabbalists have spiritual rules. They said, listen, if you eat too much without thinking, you're going to become a left column person, a judgmental person. Physically, things will happen to you that's not good for your health, for your image. You're just going to go down that chaotic path. So what do they recommend? There's a lot of spiritual rules of eating. For example, chewing your food, not swallowing it right away. What do? We chew it 4 or 5 times, we want to swallow it because we want to taste it. We want to feel it. We want to experience it. Who wants to chew their food for like 30 seconds? The Kabbalists say you should chew. Now let's say you don't want to chew. Fine. That's one tool, you don't have to use it. The Kabbalists say we have something called we bless. We bless food. Now we don't bless, people think we bless God because God needs our blessing. We bless food, meaning we say a blessing. Now, Kabbalists gave us blessings in Hebrew, but the truth is you can say whatever blessing you want in whatever language you want. And you bless it. You basically are activating the right column in the food. You're activating the light in the food. Deeper Kabbalah, which we're not going to learn now, but there are classes about it, the blessings of the Kabbalists, every word actually explains a dimension of energy and how those energies flow down and activate the light within this. Because what is water or any food? It's light encapsulated by the physical entity. So an orange is an orange covering a spark of light. So do I want the orange or do I want the light? If I meditate on eating the orange strengthens my body consciousness, which is, the body is, which column? Very good, left. You see, intuitively we're picking it up. The body is the left. What would be the right? Soul. So what does the soul need? The soul cares about the orange? Soul doesn't care about the orange. What does the soul want? The spark in the orange. So the Kabbalists would say, okay, I'm going to eat an orange. What am I going to do? I'm not going to just eat the orange because then my left gets stronger, my selfish nature, my judgmental nature, that gets stronger. I'm going to bless the orange, awaken the spark in it, so now the right controls the left, and now I can have more consciousness. Well, why do I want right to control left? You want to know why you want it? Because when you're tested, you want the strength to say no to Satan. Did you notice that when we get tested, we fail our test many times? Satan is very powerful. He's very powerful. So to prepare for that, we have these tools that strengthen right over left. It's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing tools. I just had another tool that came to mind. Slipped my mind. Slipped my mind. Oh, meat is a left or a right column? Now, within the frame of food, meat is a left or a right column? Okay, very good. Meat is a left column. That's why natives, when they went to war, they would take meat, they would eat meat, because what meat does to a person is it awakens the left column, the war instincts, the aggression. Some Kabbalists would only eat meat on Shabbat. Now we know why, because they knew, because what is Shabbat? Shabbat is the right column energy, and Sunday through Friday is the left column energy. So they said, meat, I'm just going to eat it on Shabbat. They just knew how to control the energies. Eating too much meat, they knew would make their left column. Now, I mean, we could go on this forever. Kosher. Kosher is not a religious thing. Kosher is about managing energies. One of the things that they would do to kosherize meat, they add salt. Salt is a right or a left column energy? It's a right. Comes from where? Where does salt come from? Water. Water is a right column energy. So they would salt. Bread, left or right? Bread is left. So Kabbalists dip bread in salt. Wine, left or right? Wine is left. Again, you're not meant to know these things, but it's interesting to know these things. Wine is left column. You drink wine, you're connecting to left column. What would Kabbalists always do? Put a drop of water in the wine. Again, is this what I'm going to teach in Kabbalah 1? Am I going to teach this in Kabbalah 1? No, they're going to run for the hills. But now that we know the structure of what we need to do in this world, we want tools. We want to know, okay, I want more. I want some deeper stuff. I want some mystical stuff. Okay, so you want to learn the nuances of the energies and how the energies work? That's what it is. Every time we study, we're connecting to the right column. That's why study is so powerful. I was talking to somebody today, and he said, I was having a really bad day. I was really just judging everybody. I said, what'd you do? He's like, I just started to study. And it went away in 20 minutes. You study, the right controls the left. So it's always about knowing the energies of this world. The more Kabbalah you study, you just learn what energies are, and you know how to control them rather than having them control you. And all of this is for the sake of not just becoming more powerful and knowledgeable and successful in this world. It's about connecting with the light. And once you're connecting with the light, then the light will provide for you everything you need. Yes. Do you have the microphone? No.
Yeah, I want to go back to what you said about the soul leaving the body at night.
Yes.
Is there a difference or any significance if somebody remembers all 20 dreams, where they were, what time it was on a regular basis, versus people who go to sleep and can't remember anything in the morning?
This is maybe for another class, but I've learned a person can see their dreams. It's a more positive sign than a person cannot.
So if
Now,
you can see it, but
yes, but then
negative?
even then, some people's dreams are just false dreams. There's dreams that are prophetic dreams. It goes on and on and on. Yes, yes, please.
Are you 60% dead when you're sleeping?
99%
You're
dead.
what?
99% dead.
You're 99% dead? What about a nap?
A nap? Same thing. Technically, it takes about 30 minutes for the soul to leave the body. So if a person naps under 30 minutes, they do not need to wash their hands again. Interesting, I know.
What if you wake up in the middle of the night to study? Do you have to wash your hands then?
Yes, as long as you slept for 30 minutes.
Okay. And then also, what if...
Now, why do Kabbalists wake up in the middle of the night to study? Very famous thing. King David would stay up all night and study. All the Kabbalists would wake up in the night and study. Why? What is night? Left or right? How do you know the nighttime is left? There's no light. It's dark. Very good. Night is Left. Day is right. So the Kabbalists would wake up to inject mercy and light into the night. And what's the most powerful time of the night? From what hours? Midnight to? Why? Because what's happening from midnight to dawn versus from sunset to midnight, which is also dark? So let's follow this. Sunset to dawn is all left column, correct? But there's something about midnight to dawn which is more powerful. Why? Because what's happening from midnight to dawn? In those hours, where are we going towards? We're going from darkness to light. There's nothing more powerful than darkness being transformed to light. That's why it's the most powerful time of the day. It's even more powerful than actual day. Meaning, in the eyes of the Creator, someone who is negative, who changes his or her nature, is more powerful and brings more light to the world than a person who was born amazing and stays amazing. Changing your negativity is greater for the world than a person who was always born perfect. Changing a person who's very, very negative, who changes even an iota of his negativity, reveals more light in the world than, let's say, Moses being born Moses and dying Moses. A good person being better is not as powerful as a negative person becoming better. Yes?
I have a question. I feel like for me this is a bit abstract.
Yes.
What if, for example, you know, I have a relationship right now in my life that I feel is very left column. Like, what would be the tools to inject some?
So give me an example so we can break it down. What do you mean it's a left column relationship?
Well, I'll just talk. My relationship with my mother, who's moved to LA, and she's gone through a really, really difficult. You know, she basically has health problems that we've been helping her through, but now she wants to leave LA, and there's just so much conflict between me and her, being very angry that
You're angry with each other.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm angry that she's leaving.
It's a lot of judgment, a lot of frustration.
Yeah, basically. And every time, like, I think I spend like 2-3 hours with her, or like by the third hour, I'm like, oh my God.
Right. So what do you do in cases like that? That's a good question. What's important is you personally throughout the day, what's controlling you? We have to get to a place that even someone's negativity doesn't control us or consume us. Would you say that she only controls or consumes you in the times you're with her, or even when you're not with her, it controls and consumes you?
Even when I'm not with her.
Okay, so that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you're with a person. Let's give you a pass on that. When you're not with her, you have all the power in the world to become a right column person, meaning a person of happiness, a person of certainty, a person of joy, a person who's not worrying or thinking about your mother or what's going to happen with your mother or how you're going to solve this. You can be in a state of right column all day. And then with those 3 hours with your mom, I don't know why, for whatever reason, the Creator sent that tikkun to you, to LA, to be with you. Okay, maybe you're going to have a hard time, but even when you're with her, you can inject right column.
Sorry, I just want to make clear that it's not my mom's fault. I think it's like both of our, like, obviously it's my problem also.
So even easier. So what does the Creator want from you? The Creator is giving you a left column scenario to activate your greater right column strength you never had before. You're being asked to go to the next level of your greatness to activate a right column you never had before. That's really every time we're going to a challenge, it's the Creator's way of asking us to strengthen a positive quality of ourselves that we never strengthened before. When you confront someone, what are the laws of confrontation? Spiritual confrontation, proactive confrontation. You have to first care about them. You have to come from a place of care, which is right column, and then you can tell them what's wrong with them, left column. But what's controlling what? And then you start confronting them, and what happens? You start getting upset, right? So what's happening? Do you care about them anymore? No. Now all you want to do is tell them what's wrong with them, because now you're upset with them. And what are you supposed to do then? Take a step back. All right, we'll talk about this later. And when your care goes back and you really care about them, you care about them so much, you know you need to share with them something, then you go back. The right controls the left. Kabbalists would actually pray and meditate like this. The right over the left. Everything the Kabbalists would do is always about energetically the right controlling the left. Now, don't become neurotic and be worried about that stuff. It's just interesting to know. Okay? When you read the Zohar, you're going to see the words right column, left column everywhere. Everywhere. Now you're going to be able to understand the Zohar more, the language of the Kabbalists. The Kabbalists didn't write things simply because you have to earn wisdom. It can't just be read to you. So part of why I'm taking you into a deeper realm is because I want you to learn this language so that when you study, you can grasp more of the world from a different lens.
Why is the engagement ring on the left side then?
Why is in general, why does somebody put their engagement?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like, why is it left side?
I have
if
no
it's about...
clue. I think the engagement ring was like an invented custom I heard only recently, not a Kabbalistic concept. In fact, the Kabbalists say when you get married under the canopy, that you put the ring on the right hand of the person and you put it on the index finger. Index finger, because this finger is right column. It's chokhmah. So it's the right column energy. It goes into deeper stuff. And you put the ring on there. And what's interesting about the ring, a Kabbalistic ring, is round, circular, on the outside. And what is a circle, right or left column? What do you think? Just intuitively, what do you feel? Circle. Right column, circuitry, like it's a circuit. So, circle. But the inside of the, I'm sorry, no. The inside of the ring is a circle, and the outside of the ring is a square. It's like sharp, it's pointed. Things that are sharp, it's left column. So it's the idea that the left and the right column exist within the ring too. And we're putting it on the right hand, on the index finger, and connecting that energy of right column. So a lot of beautiful customs. Every custom you see in Kabbalah, which later the religion of Judaism also adopted, because we're talking in the time of Moses, there was no Judaism. It was all customs and rituals that the Creator gave us to tap into energy. Later, the customs were adopted, but the consciousness was forgotten. So it was more about the path or the religious belief systems. So every single thing you see, even this, even covering the head, is about controlling the left column, because the crown chakra draws energy. So what are we trying to say? We're saying, no, I'm pushing back, right column, I'm letting go. We cover the head. Now this is just the smallest circumference to cover the head. That's why we use this. I could wear a hat, I could put a towel on my head, I could wear a sombrero. It's all about just kind of pushing back that energy in the crown chakra. That's all it is. So it's just about balancing your energy so you can go out there and be the light of the Creator. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tonight.